Hey everyone, it's Kenji. Today we're making linguine alle Vongole. So that's linguine with clams. And I'm also going to do it with some of this, which is sous chef Eric's pancetta. Linguine alle Vongole, you don't always do it with pancetta. You can do it with just plain old clams. And depending on what part of Italy, you know, it's popular all over Italy, but depending on what part of Italy you're in, it may or may not have tomatoes added to it. So in southern Italy, so if you're in like Sicily or Naples, you would have it with tomatoes in the sauce. But I'm going to do it bianco style, so white style. So just white wine. I'm doing a little pancetta, and we'll also have a ton of garlic and parsley. Not too much pancetta. That's about a good amount. This particular batch of pancetta is beautiful. See how much fat and that nice ratio of fat to meat. I really like it when it's like that. My daughter and I just went for a bike ride where we went on the Bay Trail, which is in San Mateo, over near Coyote Point, if you're familiar with the area. Just south of the airport, so you can see the airplanes landing at San Francisco Airport. But on our bike ride, we found these, which are sea beans. So they're these little. They grow by the ocean, and so they have a kind of salty flavor. And they're kind of juicy, and they're a succulent plant that have a very nice salty flavor. They're edible, and they go really nicely with clams and dishes like this. So I'm going to throw some of these in there also. Totally unnecessary for this dish, but oh, by the way, I'm going to get my fire started. This is one of those pans that I think I showed them to you before that has this bottom that has this aluminum grill on the bottom that kind of acts as a heat sink. So it increases the surface area on the bottom of the pan so that it grabs the heat much more efficiently. So it boils water real fast. I think the last time I showed a pan like this, someone said they are actually available. So I'm sure someone in the comments will link to it. And if I see that link, I will put it in this description below so that you can get this pan too. I think it's really nice. I normally would do this in you don't have to use this special pan, and you definitely don't have to use a non-stick skillet like I'm doing right now. I'm only doing it this way because I brought my big skillet to, my big regular skillet, my 12-inch regular stainless steel clad skillet to the restaurant to shoot a video with sous chef Eric, which actually by the time this one goes up, it probably will be live. So either that or the first part of the video we shot in my backyard might be live. But I brought it over to the restaurant and I forgot to bring it back. So that's why it's not here. With these sea beans, I'm only going to use the really most tender parts of them. All right, and meanwhile, we're going to get our pancetta started over here as well. Do some olive oil. Oh, get this camera on. So if you weren't doing pancetta, you would do all straight olive oil for this bit, and you would skip the whole rendering the pancetta thing at the beginning. Oh, I also have some kale from the garden that we're gonna make a little kale and carrot orange salad with while the pasta cooks. Where's that pasta? All right, so we're doing linguine today. Probably 200 grams-ish. Maybe a little, yeah, about 200 grams. There's gonna be 2.5 of us eating. My wife and my daughter are eating as well. So that seems about right. Not too heavily seasoned on this because we're going to be cooking coating the pasta in this sauce with white wine and clams, and the clams are salty, the pancetta is salty, so you don't want to add too much salt to the pasta water for this particular dish. All right, that's all looking good. Let me get my salad going here. So the classic pasta alle Vongole, it's at its basic core, it would be olive oil, clams, garlic, and that's really it. You can add, very frequently you would add parsley to it, and then very frequently you would also add white wine to it. sometimes red pepper flakes. I'm going to add some red pepper flakes and parsley as well. But, you know, those red pepper flakes and parsley, they're kind of like, you know, they're kind of like the jacket or the tie for the suit that is pasta alle Vongole. Whereas the sea beans are kind of just like, they're like the top hat, like totally unnecessary. And probably a little, you know, that you have to be ready for them. The top hat in the suit of clam spaghetti. My mom used to make clam spaghetti when we were little, growing up, and she would make it using bacon and onions and canned clams, which are generally actually totally fine. Canned clams are pretty good. They're kind of their own thing. They don't really taste like fresh clams, but they don't taste bad to me. Canned clams, and then a ton of Parmesan cheese from the green can, which, if you were to ask an Italian, I think they would have a very visceral reaction to combining seafood with cheese. But honestly, I think it's totally fine to do. If you want to add, you know, pecorino romano, if you want to add Parmesan to this, you are totally welcome to. In fact, the other day I made a New Haven style pizza. It's a recipe I'm working on. There might be a video up of it already. A recipe I'm working on because, well, I grew up eating New Haven style pizza and love it. And then I discovered that there's a place in San Carlos, about a mile south of me, that makes great New Haven style pizza. That's Pazzo, the name of the restaurant. And so I came home wanting to make New Haven style pizza after trying that. But New Haven style pizza, they're known for clam pizza. And on their clam pizzas, you would have clams, garlic, parsley, clams, garlic, depending on which restaurant you go to, sometimes oregano, olive oil, and Romano cheese. And that, you know, that goes back a long ways. But that combination of clams and Romano I kind of like. So I don't think it's inappropriate to do it if you want to do it. I'm not going to do it today just because, I don't know, I've already met and surpassed my pissing off Italians quota for the month, I think. I don't know why I cut all this garlic off. I'm not going to use all of it. I use a good amount of it. Let's do 5 cloves. I'll save the rest for later. I give them a good hard smash so that it does like half of the chopping for you. And then it also lets you get the peels off pretty easily. See how my pancetta's doing? Nice slow render on this. Chop on this garlic doesn't have to be too fine. Just like that's pretty good. A rough mince. This is a Cara orange. They tend to be a little sort of sweeter and a little more aromatic than your regular navel orange. Also, they have this really nice kind of pinkish orange color. You can use, I mean, whatever. This is just a salad I'm throwing together on the side. It's not anything that requires any kind of thought. I'm just adding some oranges and some kale together, and I'm going to toss in some olive oil and lemon juice, and that's about it. I'm not even going to do the fancy cut on the oranges. Lemon juice. Actually, these are Meyer lemons, also from the backyard. All right, so now pancetta's crisp. I'm gonna grab this garlic. Go right in there. I'm gonna grab a bottle of white wine and have it at the ready. This is Vinho Verde. Vinho Verde, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Portuguese wine. Green wine. Green as in like fresh, not green as in the color is green. So we're just really, really light sauteing that garlic. We don't want really any color on it. We just want it to kind of, there we go. Yeah, get that aroma out and it's there already. Vinho Verde often has like a little bit of effervescence to it. All right, now we're gonna bring that to a boil. You can use any kind of dry white wine, so Pinot Grigio would be very nice. Sauvignon Blanc is fine. And our clams. These are little neck clams. Not too many of them, but enough for our needs. And this pasta is looks like it's getting close to done. We want, or is this pasta to be just shy of al dente, right when, right as our clams are finishing cooking. So I'm actually gonna shut that pasta off for now because otherwise I'm afraid it's gonna overcook before the clams are done. The clams are gonna take a minute or two, and that pasta is about a minute or two out. So I think we're gonna be good. Oh, you know, be good in there. A little bit of lemon zest. These are just some parsley from the garden. I'll do the slap the parsley trick. Oh yeah, I know someone's gonna say, oh, didn't you cut your pancetta on that board? And the answer is yes, I did. The pancetta, I eat it raw sometimes, so I'm not really that concerned about it. It's been curing for a long time. Several weeks at this point, that batch. Of course, if you are at all concerned, use a separate board. Separate board for your pancetta or bacon. Don't blame me if you get sick. All right. All right, clams just starting to open. Swap this over to the big burner. Oh, so, you know, you might have heard that you shouldn't, you know, when you're cooking clams and mussels, that unless they open, you should let them completely fully open naturally in the as they're cooking, and if they don't open, that they were dead. This is not necessarily true, and I find that oftentimes if you let them fully open on their own, they end up a little bit overcooked. So I like to give them a little hand sometimes, especially the ones that started cooking at the beginning and are a little bit have been open for longer. They're going to start overcooking, and so it's all right to give some of them a little hand. Overcooked clams are like rubber bands. I suppose bad clams are also like rubber bands because they come back. They come back after you eat them. All right, looking good. This guy. Open up, you. And this last little guy. There you go. All right. Now I'm going to take my pasta. Double check that it's at that right phase. It's actually perfect. Now, you don't have to worry too much about, once you get your pasta into this second pan, you don't have to worry about it overcooking too much, because pasta, it softens much better in regular water than it does in acidic water. So all those reactions that happen when you cook, all the softening reactions that happen when you cook vegetables or grains, they don't really happen in acidic water. And so once you get into that second pan, it enters, well, again, what my colleague Daniel Gritzer, what he calls pasta bullet time, which is everything slows down and it gives you a chance to finish off a dish without worrying too much about where the pasta is going, because it's most likely going to stay just about at the same level of doneness. All right, so we got our sea beans in there. I'm going to throw our big handful of parsley in there. We're going to hit it with some fresh olive oil, the good stuff. We're going to toss it all together, let that sauce kind of come together. I think I could use a little bit of pepper flake. I don't know, I think I'm out of Italian red pepper flakes, but I'm going to use Thai. I got these Thai chili flakes, which are definitely hotter than the Italian stuff, so I'm going to go gentle on it. You know what else is really good in here is pickled chilies. So if you happen to, I don't have any of them with me today, but if you happen to have some of Sous Chef Eric's pickled Fresno chilies, if you maybe you got them in the class we did the other day. Shabo, here's a sea bean for you. If you got them in the class the other day, or if you bought them from Wurst-Hall, or if you just have your own pickled chilies, like pickled cherry peppers would be great. Any kind of pickled chilies I think go really well in this dish. All right, let's plate her up. So this is the kind of dish that, you know, unlike say aglio e olio or you know, many other sort of white pasta dishes that you want the sauce to be kind of creamy and emulsified. And this one, I don't mind the sauce being a little bit brothy. For some reason, like clams and broth, I enjoy. And of course, as the dish cools down, like while you're eating it, that broth is going to kind of thicken up anyway. Right. Let's toss this salad too. This could use a red onion, but I don't have one, so it's not going to get one. Still delicious. All right, dinner in 1 minute. All right, lunch in a minute. Oh, where'd you go? Eat clam first. I wouldn't say it's just like Mom used to make, but you know, those flavors are there. Garlic and pancetta and clam. Sip. Nice and briny. It's got like some bitterness from the olive oil. And bitterness, I mean, clams have a little bitterness to them too. This is great. Clam spaghetti. Linguine alle Vongole e pancetta. That's what we're going to call it. All right. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, I will see you later.